The wandering spirit says that he's using the power of today to get stronger instead of ending the suffering by accepting his fate. However, against an overwhelming tall wall, he's nothing but an ant. Encrid thanks the spirit that takes the spirit by surprise. Encrid says that he reignited the spark within him, as this is exactly the wall he needed. The spirit chuckles and says it would like to see him meet the third wall then. Encrid once again comes back to the same day. Pin discusses the plan to infiltrate the enemy base today. Encrid suggests disguising themselves as merchants and then sneaking their way in. Pin asks why he suddenly changed the plan, and our boy replies that he's having a bad feeling about the other ways. Pin agrees to Encrid's plan, further elaborating that they could enter along with the merchants who go into trade regularly. Encrid asks when the merchants will go, and Pin replies that it will be tomorrow morning. Encrid thinks that tomorrow is out of the question, as they would end up facing the wall once again today. However, he doesn't know how this wall will manifest this time. Torres chimes in on their conversation and says that they will have to wait another day. Pin agrees to it and says that they have time till then. She asks what they should do till the tomorrow morning. She thinks it would be best to hold a party tonight. She orders her lackeys to use everything they have got for tonight. The lackey agrees to his boss's condition and says he'll get everything ready. In the background, Encrid wonders what Pin is up to now. The lackey brings in wine, meat, and glasses to hold a grand feast tonight. Encrid looks at all of this and remains speechless. He can't believe that Pin brought alcohol in front of the enemy and thinks that they have gone insane. Well, no one is more insane than our MC here. Everyone gathers around to have drinks and eat meat. Encrid tells Pin that it would be dangerous to be so relaxed near the enemy lines. Pin tells him to be at ease and says it's inefficient to be more stressed than they already are. A lackey pours wine into a cup that Pin is holding. She further advises Encrid that he would lose sight of the forest if he remains so uptight. She offers him a drink and tells him to relax a bit. She says that this would make his shoulders less tense. Encrid thinks that he has always done his best to overcome his limits, and he believed that he was getting good at it. However, now he thinks that Pin is right. He got tunnel-visioned and began to believe that surpassing the wall required facing it head-on. Encrid steps forward and believes he should calm down for a second. He pulls his sword out and thinks that struggling head-on isn't the only way. He concentrates while holding his sword, believing that everything will become a part of him eventually. Pin looks at Encrid and asks what's up with him. She told him to rest, yet he's pulling his sword out again. Torres says that practicing with his sword means resting for him. Pin looks at him and thinks that he's always the same, never relaxing for a moment. Well, that's our boy, Encrid, practicing at any moment he gets. Pin looks at Encrid working hard and says that he's a delight for her eyes. Torres becomes baffled by Pin's words and says that she's harassing him. Later that night, two moon come up, one being white while the other being red. The group lit a small bonfire under a cave as the moon came up. Encrid is sharpening his sword while sitting in the cave. He thinks that he had a big revelation today. This alone made his today quite productive. He looks outside the cave and thinks they would have arrived at the enemy wall in one of his repeating today. He thinks that there were greyhounds in the tunnels, and a magician on top of the wall in his previous todays. He wonders what will stand in their way this time. Suddenly, an animal dashes through the grass fields. He reaches the top of a cliff and howls under the moonlight. The howl quickly catches Pin and her group attention. Torres also becomes serious on hearing the sound. Encrid, who was sharpening his sword in the cave, increases his focus as well. They quickly come out of the cave and wonder what that cry was. They see many mutated wolves charging towards them. Encrid thinks that these are the same wolves they saw in his repeating today when they were climbing the wall. Pin takes out her axe and tells everyone to run. However, it's too late for that. The wolves surround them from all the sides, and Encrid's group take a defensive stance. Torres starts getting nervous and says that they need at least 10 men to handle one of these wolves. And right now, there are 20 of these hounds, and only 6 of them to defend against them. Torres grits his teeth and proclaims that they are dead meat now. Pin also starts getting nervous and believes that they weren't monsters nearby. Then how did they all came from? Encrid also thinks that he didn't sense these wolves coming here at all. He believes that whoever was behind this has fooled their senses. He wonders if this is doing of Retsha, whom he met in his previous repeating today. The mutated wolves growl at them, ready to feist on the humans. Encrid locks in and enters the focus mode. He thinks that he wasn't willing to throw himself into problem, But the problem came knocking on the door. However, he can't be taken down that easily. The wolf charged towards Encrid, and Encrid does the same as well with his sword. He reads how the wolf will attack and predicts that it would come from the left side. As Encrid predicted, the wolf attacks him from the left side and he quickly steps back to dodge it. Multiple wolves charge at him, and Encrid thinks that they are attacking in a regular pattern. Due to this, he isn't able to respond properly while concentrating on a single point. Soon, a hound lunges forward with its big teeth. However, Encrid manages to defend himself by shoving the sword in Wolf's mouth. He thinks that if focusing on a single area is causing him problem, then he'll have to zoom out to a larger area. When Encrid zooms out, he could hear the sounds of his teammates getting brutally killed and being torn apart. Encrid couldn't do anything to help them as he was struggling himself. A hound kills a man by piercing its thumb through the man's neck. Torres also falls victim to the hound as the hound thrusts its hand from Torres' back. Pin also dies as well by a hound biting down her neck. Encrid thinks that their deaths wouldn't matter once he restarts the day. However, seeing all those brutal deaths is still painful. Encrid finally makes a breakthrough by slicing through the wolf's neck. He then lifts his sword to deliver another strike onto him. He stabs the wolf in the back, thus killing him. On seeing one of their comrade die, other wolf charge toward Encrid. A wolf with menacing-looking eyes goes for the killing blow. He punches Encrid in the guts, and Encrid feels the impact going through his body. He coughs out blood on the punch and thinks that this wolf is smart enough to throw a punch. He believes this one isn't the same as others. He wonders if he's the leader of this pack. The wolf proceeds further and bites Encrid's arms next. The wolf tackles Encrid down as he rips through his arm. The wolf then throws Encrid into the air. When Encrid looks down, he sees the pack of wolves swarming on the ground to tear him apart. In his dying moments, he sees all of his friends lying dead on the ground. Later on, he dies and goes to the dream world. The spirit tells Encrid that it won't matter which wall he picks, they all will be hopelessly tall. As long as today exists, he'll have to repeat the situations forever. Does he still find all of this fun? Encrid ignores the spirit and comes back to the same day again. He talks to himself that this isn't much of a deal. Pin and Torres looks at Encrid as he keeps mumbling to himself. They wonder what happened to him suddenly this morning. They discuss whether he's still sleepy. Encrid thinks that there's no reason for him to give up now. He gets up and tells his teammates that he's fine. He says that they should head out now. Encrid becomes serious and thinks that he'll find his own way even if all three paths are blocked.